Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's time for Brick All O'Clock with two packages, one from BrickLink.com and one from Lego Bricks and Pieces. Now firstly, I do actually have a confession. I won't be needing a knife today because both of these packages are actually open. And I tend to try not to do that to sort of spoil the surprise, so I'm having a spontaneous reaction with you at the same time. But in this case, I've had to pilfer something out of each of these packets for a build just to get it done. And if we start with the BrickLink package, that was actually a very small but very important graffiti brick, 1x2x2, that I was using on my GBC build, which incidentally you will have seen has just been submitted to LEGO Ideas, and the link to vote for it to make it into a real life set is in the description below, so I'd very much appreciate it if you could go to LEGO Ideas and click support. Now, if you haven't registered on LEGO Ideas before, it's not actually that strenuous. You literally only need your name, your age, because I think you have to be 13, and an email address. And if you click Don't Contact Me, then they really don't. So it's relatively safe. You're not giving away all your data or anything like that. You're not going to get bombarded. Anyway, yeah, so I needed that very small but important brick from the set 31081 modular skate house from 2018. In order to finish off the corner of my build to make it look a bit more industrial. So apart from that, I haven't been through this order. Oh, golly. I've got a sticker sheet there, clearly, and that is that for that bag. So let's start, as we often do, with the sticker sheet, which they've wrapped very well using cardboard to keep it what's looking absolutely pristine. Yeah, that looks great. Now, the main reason I bought it was for this corner up here with all these soft drink adverts, because they are pretty much in line with the branding of other ones that I've got in the past, including this, which I didn't get on this haul, Bob Fizz's soft drinks, you see. And I thought I would use these to decorate a drinks machine. Now, I had actually come up with my own design for a drinks machine, that was going to just, be dispensing cans around the boardwalk area or something like that. And then I was going to decorate it in these and do it in a lime colouring. And then I noticed that there's sort of a really cool design for one as part of the Ninjago City Garden set. So it might be that my sort of relatively basic one has been a bit superseded there. So I might copy that. I haven't really looked at it yet. But either way, I kind of figured these bigger ones, saying soft drinks with the Bob Fizz logo, could be kind of up the tall sides. And then maybe that could be at the sort of top front or something like that. So you can get your soft drinks here. Because I reckon that Bob Fizz soft drinks would be the name of the sort of lurid neon green sort of liquid that's for sale throughout my city, which I kind of think is modelled a bit on Mountain Dew, absolute rocket fuel. So that's good. I haven't said what this whole sticker sheet comes from, actually. It's from the set Brick Street Customs 8154, which is a tiny turbo set from 2008. And that's absolutely covered in stickers, so much so that this is actually only one of two sheets of stickers that came in that whole set. So yeah, there's absolutely loads. And in fact, I've had some of the stickers from the other sheet before, including this wonderful Brick Street Custom sign, which I'm going to use as a billboard in Brick Nottingham. So those two haven't come from today's haul, but nonetheless are relevant to this. So yeah, these were all sort of decorating vehicles, and some of them might be useful, like these little ones that say turbo, or what do these say? XR fuel, so they might be quite good. And look, I've got some 8 long, it must be 8 long, tread plate stickers there as well, and some advertising there, kind of race type brands, and even some sort of board. I think that's deliberately blurred, you can't read it, with a car on it. So yeah, and a 1 and a 2. Don't know what they're for, but yeah, I think there'll be lots of useful ones on there. And this was actually quite cheap, because this order's very small, and it was because I really needed that brick. So that was the reason for the whole order. So I just wanted a really quick and cheap one. And while I was there, I, as usual, put all the good things that I could find in the rest of the store in just to save on postage. So I think this was under £1, and I'll definitely get that amount of value out of it. Actually, there's a lot of vents as well. Yeah, I mean, I could decorate a black car with all of these as well. Yeah, so there's absolutely loads of good stuff. Oh, even little emoji type thing for some lights. Yeah, I'm really liking that. So that's good. So the guy also had some minifigures. So this was one missing from my collection so far, which is the Series 3 Space Alien. Whoop. And he's actually got a very similar shaped head to Squidtron, who I've had before from the Space Police line. But this was another different type of alien, which I could add to my Alien Cantina scene. So if I haven't told you about that before, it's just to have a bar that's kind of like Men in Black, really, where all the aliens from all around the galaxy come and congregate in Brick Nottingham, and the local population's completely unawares. So I quite like him. Sort of stereotypical green alien. I might have to not give him a ray gun, otherwise there'll be a bit of a duel going on in that bar, and I have no idea what that's going to look like or where it's going to go either. So it's a very early idea, that one. And then one of the Atlantis minifigures that I'm short of. So you see, once I found a store that had that brick that I really needed and had, well, this guy basically in it as well, I thought, yep, this is the store for me. I'm going to do an order here. Right, so I need to put these teeth in his jaw. And this is potentially the best Atlantis minifigure, I'm going to say. At least to me, because I just love this guy's facial expression. So I'll put his teeth in his jaw, and you see he's got the sort of mouth on the middle of the torso there, because when he's wearing this great big fish hat, which is sort of what it is, then the mouth is actually, well, completely invisible, but in between those teeth, you can probably just see some of it. But look at him. What a dude. So I'll give him a trident, and he can stand next to the others, protecting an area that will be in my undersea setup. And he'll be alongside the, what was it? The Lobster King. In fact, that's what one of the sets that this guy came in. He came in the City of Atlantis set, 7985. He's the Barracuda, by the way. That's his name. And that set is a really cool one with good play feature in the middle with the statue and so on. The Lobster King. It's even got that ring I need. It's the only ring that's outstanding. So that is a very cool set. I think I'm going to have to do some sort of temple like that as kind of a centerpiece to the lowest level of my undersea setting. But that is a long way off because we've got to finish the fairground first. But there's no harm in getting awesome pieces like this guy along the way. And then just one bag of goodness from this order, which is why I did today's haul with the Lego Bricks and Pieces one as well, because that's not huge. Right, so I've got loads of these inverted curved slope pieces, and they're in tan, as you can see, and I'm going to use these to make a skateboard ramp. Quite a wide one, or maybe kind of like a half pipe one with sort of 4 on each side might be a better idea. So I've got, it'll be quite narrow, won't it? But anyway, maybe I need some more. But you can see that that will be kind of like that. That's been done several times before, but that'll be good. What else have I got? I've got some good screens. Let me make a little bank of screens. So starting at the top, that's quite an interesting one, isn't it? It says minus 19 degrees, so that would imply that it should be used in my Arctic scene when I get around to that. God, the list of things is so long now. But it's also kind of almost like a heartbeat type sort of jagged line. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. That's been in quite a few sets, including Fire Squad HQ 4657, which is a 4 Juniors set from 2003. Wow, that's bad. That is one of those sets which you just think, what were they thinking? At least I do. I've never seen a fire engine look like that. I mean, I'm all for not going for realism and going for sort of stylized, but that's kind of crazy. Then we've got this screen, which I think I bought one too many of in pursuit of my twin tank, what was it called? Rail wagon. That's just one's on there, but I'll be able to use that somewhere else. It's just got 3 dials on and 3 kind of tap heads or something. And then this one I really like, because you might remember I'm going to do a newsroom type studio type thing. So this one, it's kind of like a TV with a countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on it. Actually looks like it might be doing some video editing or maybe some sort of studio work. So I think that's how I'll use it. And this was actually part of quite a few studio sets, including Explosion Studio 1352. So yeah, if I do I'm kind of thinking a newsroom and then having an editing room as well, with all those TV screens that we got from the Wonder Woman sticker sheet the other week. So they can sort of have the back room type kind of newsroom bit and the sort of newscaster or something like that, and maybe have that all in a huge tower block or something like that. I don't really know. The only problem with doing that sort of a build is that you tend not to be able to see it afterwards so well, kind of like my space tower at the moment. Dark brown layer hair, couple of bricks, couple of flag pieces, I think they're for an awning, and a bit of dirt, and very importantly, another parrot for my parrot collection. And this one is in a very light pink colour, having come from Belleville sets exclusively, about 4 different ones from memory. 5857, Safran's Amazing Bazaar from 2003, and it certainly is amazing. Anyway, I'll probably use this parrot either on the top of my Paradise Cafe with the rest of them, or I think I'll be pilfering a few from there to kind of decorate my pirate ship ride and the setting around there. I've got a lot of good comments on that recent build, and some of them which are just obvious now you say it, so thanks for that. Give you a quick bedoing. There we go. Was to add things like parrot and monkey to the scene. And I've actually got a monkey and nothing to do with him. So that would be a brilliant idea to make my pirate ship a bit more piratey, even though it should be crewless, given it is actually the Flying Dutchman. But nonetheless, but yeah, wow, cool. Love the parrots. That's another one of the collections that I do. My name is Robin. Yeah, I've done that quite a few times now. So let's have that standing up on some bricks. There we go. So that's looking really, really good. So I'll put that all back there, put those to one side, and then we can get on with the second part of this haul, which is the Lego Bricks and Pieces order. Now, this was made in early December, so it's taken, well, 2.5 months kind of really to get here, which is, well, it does happen sometimes that it's about that long, but I think this is the longest I've ever had to wait. And you never know what the reason was for, but it was probably, staff in the warehouse. But nonetheless, combined with a bit of postage. So I've got a base plate in blue and one bag of goodies. Now, I'm going to start with the base plate, actually. Not a lot of people know that you can get brand new base plates from Lego's Bricks and Pieces service, not Pick-a-Brick. If you don't know the difference, I've done a video on the two. A lot of people get confused about that. Pick-a-Brick has very little selection and Bricks and Pieces has a lot more. So if you want a 16 by 32 base plate, then you just need to use the piece number 2748. And in fact, there's only this colour available now. I'm going to use this for my Coast Guard because I figure I need a little bit more water in front of the Coast Guard station, so I'm getting it while I remember it. And while they're still available, because I swear last time I looked for a 16 by 32 base plate, you could get both greys. I think you could get dark green or the normal green that we think of as just green, and maybe even a couple of other colours. And this is the only one now. So I think they're phasing out all base plates, not just the roads. I don't know, but I mean, if you think about it, last year's modular, the bookshop, did use 2 of these 16 by 32 base plates, and they're not available on Bricks and Pieces now already. So I find that a bit suspicious as to why that's the case. Unless somebody's gone along and bought them out and they're just sold out for a bit. But usually when they're sold out of something, it could mean that it's going to be retired. Incidentally, if you want a 32 by 32 base plate, there are lots still available. You should use piece number 3811, and they've got both the greys are there. There's blue, I think, green, tan, white in the 32 by 32. And then the other sizes of base plate, which I've definitely used throughout my city, are the 16 by 16, which is only available in dark grey, and that's piece number 6098. And the 8 by 16 base plate, which is also only available in dark grey, and that's 3865. So hopefully all of those numbers are useful to some of you. And I think if you're considering buying a few of these, then I'd get a move on, because I'm suspicious that they're going to be getting rid of them all, as I say. I mean, I've heard people suggesting that maybe Lego's going to bring out brick depth base plates. And though that makes sense if you think about it compared with the road plates, the new style of road plate, in that it will be actually one plate raised against those, I'm kind of doubtful. Because, I mean, I think it would cost an absolute fortune. But they've got to do something, haven't they, just for future modulars and so on. And if they were going to bring out a new type of base plate, then why didn't they use it with all the sets that have come out with the new roads, including the very recent police station modular? So I'm really not sure about that. But I think one of the reasons that they may be getting rid of them all is because you have to post them with a great big lump of cardboard, because they're so badly easily damaged in the post that you can see they must have terrible losses due to bent and warped ones of these. Anyway, the jury's still out. We will see what happens in time. Fortunately for Brick Nottingham, I think I've got all the base plates I'm going to need, both of road and other areas. So if I ever did find another place to build my city that was twice as big, I might have problems then, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Right, so I'm just going to tip all of this in a heap, slightly to one side, and then, we can go through it. Love these bags, always keep them. They're the best type of bags. Right, what have I got? In no particular order. Couple of those decorative pieces for the sides of Power Functions motors on a train, because I'm going to be, as you know, adding another engine to my long cargo train, and I might even start doubling up on the motors on that just to make them have even more pulling power so they can get even longer. Then I've treated myself to some more birds. Now, this is a treat because these are about £1 each. I mean, it shows how addicted I am to certain things, but I wanted a little flock of blue birds, so I got 3 of those. I mean, they've been in quite a few sets now, like the bookshop and so on, but yeah. We'll have to call them Patreon birds, I think, because all the birds I'm adding are really adding up in cost. It adds so much life to the city, so I'm very glad of them. But I'll have to use Patreon money to pay for it all, I think. So thank you, Patreon people. Thanks a lot. And if you want to join that, check out the links in the description. Then we've got a few torsos. Here's just one of the winter jackets in, what colours are? Olive green. So that's a really nice one. I didn't have. Now these two are from the Sesame Street set. Now usually items from sets like 21324 Sesame Street are not available. But in this case, certain ones were. So you can see this is Ernie's torso and this is Bert's torso. Now, none of the heads were available, and unfortunately the one I really wanted, which was Cookie Monster, was also not available. But I figured that some normal people could have these nice torsos in my city. I'll have to change the hand colour on Ernie's. But yeah, they're really nice as well. Bit pricey, but very, very colourful. And another piece, actually, that was available from the 123 Sesame Street set was this, which is Oscar the Grouch, which everyone should know, and it's kind of on a ball piece, so he can be peeking out of the dustbin in which he lives. But I'm really surprised that that's available, because surely that's a licensed piece. I mean, it's unmistakable who it is, so I'm really surprised at that. So he was, as I say, living in a bin in that set and in that programme. So I thought I'd replicate the same scene in Brick Nottingham, so I've brought along some bin bits. Now you do need to heighten him by just adding a 1x1 round, and then he can just perch in a bin like that, with a bin lid on his head. Oh yes, that works really well. I like that. Now I have brought along another bin, because this one's actually even more dingy in that it's in old dark grey, which is more of a sort of grim colour, and I was wondering if that might go slightly better with him. And would it be better with the dish piece? You know what? I think that does actually look worse, so I'm not going to do that. So we'll put the flat lid on his head, as they do in the official set. Put him in there, and we can always have that bin next to it for contrast. But there we go. There is Oscar the Grouch, the newest addition to Brick Nottingham. Brilliant. Other little pieces. An extravagance here. I finally gave in and bought a micro figure of a spaceman. Now he's been in 2 sets so far, the Saturn V rocket 92176, but more recently the International Space Station 21321. So there he is. I'll probably have him in a toy shop, or maybe as a prize, perhaps as a sort of toy in my fairground. That might be quite nice. Somewhere prominent, because there's no point buying a nice piece like that and having it all hidden away. Then what have I got? I've got loads of these long chains, and that's because I'm going to be doing a fairground ride that involves chains. So there's quite a handful of those, and they're relatively reasonable value. I thought they might be £1 each or something from Lego Direct, but they're not. So that's quite good. Oh, yes. Now, I've got a black bow with arrow, and somewhere, yep, I've got the black quiver. And I thought these would be both better in black to give to my Robin Hood statue, because brown doesn't seem to make much sense. But if I rip Statue Robin's head off, put on his quiver, because the real life statue of Robin Hood in real life Nottingham does have him with a bow. So I thought, and everyone poses, everyone thinks they're being unique by posing next to this statue, kind of pulling a bow and arrow. And if you watch all the tourists do it, it's quite funny because they all come up and think they've had a brilliant idea and do the same thing. So there we go. So that's probably what I'm going to do as the statue. Sometimes they have bits of metal on a stone statue, so I think that still works. And I really like the red feather. Some people said I should get a grey one or something, but I think the red works better just to really make it me. So there we go. So this is going to be somewhere in Brick Nottingham in due course as well. Bought some more of those sort of very short curly black hair pieces, because I'd used my only one on Winston, the Ghostbuster. So I've got some more of those. I've got lots of black slopes, some long ones here, some curved ones here. And that's the main reason for this order in a way, was to get all the pieces that were filling in all the gaps on the rides, all the builds that I've been kind of collecting for in recent weeks and months. So I try and get the majority of my bricks from BrickLink, because A, they're cheaper, and B, while I'm there, I can kind of get the rarer bricks and the fun bricks and experimental things, so it's a lot more interesting. But if you just find that you're just missing a certain number of things, like say, oh, sorry, Oscar, these 8 long slopes, you just can't get them anywhere, then you have to go straight to Lego. So that's really what I've done here, to fill in all the gaps on all these pieces that I just couldn't find in regular stores. So that will now be the final pieces that I need for a train build that's got some roof pieces and so on. So all of those are in pretty much 2 train builds, I think, is this great big heap here. The mystery blue brick build that had a few blue bricks, I think this is the final one I needed. So that's the final one for that. So we've got 2 train builds. That's for a train as well. And these, you can have guesses, but you'll never guess them, I don't think, anyway. So there we go. That's all train stuff finishing. Golly, what did I buy these for? Oh, do you know what? These are for my GBC factory. It's a bit late now, isn't it? Yeah, I got these to be the arms that kind of supporting the moving robot arms on the top manufacturing line. So they'd be in yellow and match the conveyor belt that is yellow. But now, not only have I done all the photographs, but I've submitted them. I've submitted everything. Anyway, I can change it on my one. So my one will be slightly more colour coordinated than anything else. Couple of tiles. Now, I got this last time, so I've double bought this now. I must not have crossed it off the right list, but nonetheless, this is the Boomtown build tile from set 45810. So now I've got 2 of them, I guess. And somebody said last time that I could use that as the sort of name of the contractor that's doing the demolition near the, well, station, I suppose. So that's quite a good idea, so I'll probably do that. Help yourself to a Bedoing. Now, a lot of the 2020 pieces weren't available. 2021 pieces, sorry, I should say, back in December. But one of the newer pieces, which I guess was in the last wave of 2020, was this different type of computer screen. So I thought I'd pop one of those in just to see it. It's quite nice, quite different. What else have we got here? That's to support one of those Atlantis turning rock pieces in grey, because black will show up really badly against rock colours, I think. Oh, I've got the inside of an engine. Now that was for a Ultra Agent sort of baddie buggy type build. So it's just pieces like that that you just, when you can't find them, you just have to get them straight from Lego. Some bricks, I think the final bricks for the Pink Flamingo Club, like these profile ones. A lot of these that I was going to use for GBC but ended up pilfering them from somewhere else. And that's about it. Oh, now these 1x2 rounded plates. Now these weren't actually a genuine piece until relatively recently. I think they were first, well, and only used in the Sesame Street set, and they're vital for using on the front of my Mini. So my blue Mini has actually used dark blue ones for now, so I can actually change these over so they're genuine blue, and I was kind of hoping that that would be the case at some point in the future. I've got about half a dozen different pieces on my wanted list of things that don't exist, so if Lego does create them in a brand new colour, then I'll become aware of it and be able to get some as soon as possible to replace things that are less than perfect somewhere else. Oh, the relief. Look at that. That looks so much better than that. Incidentally, if you're wondering why this has got a string on the front of it and some extra weird sort of tram wheels underneath it, it's because I've been experimenting with my Minis on my subway system, on the underground system, with them sort of being pulled by the existing subway train, kind of like my pump wagon is on my surface cargo line, on these wheels to sort of have a funny scene. I'd say it with mixed results. I'm not sure it's what I'm going to end up going for, to be honest, but it does work with one of them. I was thinking of maybe making a sort of daisy chain of all three of them being pulled along. And maybe I'll show you that at some point, but I'm not sure if it's going to be reliable enough to keep. Maybe it'll be a one-off only. Cool, so I'll change the other light over. So yeah, 2 hauls, lots of little things. Lots of things that fill in gaps, nothing sort of absolutely major. But what this does enable is the next kind of 3, 4, 5 videos to happen. So I think I've got everything I need for my super secret police space. Yeah, I knew that sound was going to come. And the train builds, and maybe even the Pink Flamingo. Cool. Now there was just one more piece I didn't go through that was relatively interesting in my rush to get to the end of the video, and that was just the head from Mayor Fleck from the main square set 60271, and it's just one of the heads that I hadn't managed to get on the previous Bricks and Pieces order, so just filling in a gap there. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos, and do also remember to support my LEGO Ideas GBC factory. Do follow the link below. It really doesn't take long and it'll be really appreciated, and if we get 10,000 supporters then we can actually make that into a real life set, potentially. Anyway, here's hoping. So if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll actually be doing a full city tour, because it will be video number 275. So I'll be going around the entire city with a bit of a focus on what we've done recently with the farm and so on, and then talking about plans for the imminent future as well. So I hope you'll join me for that, and I'll try and get everything going on the motors as well. Cool. See you then.